Hi chaps, John here at Microaces. Welcome to the workshop once again for 2022. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and 2022 has come around rather quickly. So a belated Happy New Year, and let's get straight into some news because it has been so long since I did one of these. I've even had a haircut since the last one. New for 2022. That's the top story of from Microaces. No, it's not. Okay, so we've finally caught up with ourselves after contracting COVID and struggling to get the Albatross out and waiting for components and all that sort of stuff. So that's all now done, and we can now start focusing on our plans for 2022. And to start with, we are having a bit of a reorganization of how we sell the kits. Not that we're going to start trading through eBay or Amazon or come around with a hand cart and throw them at you, but we're having a bit of a reorganization of the kits themselves. If I just show you, it's probably easier that way. Let's just pop up a kit on screen here. So here you can see one of our SE5A kits and pictures, etc. It all looks pretty much the same. The only difference is the kit options. You only get two kit options. For some reason, when I click on this on my screen, I can see a drop-down box, but it doesn't appear when I'm recording it. So that's a bit weird. But there are two options there. You've got the kit, which now includes a motor, gearbox, prop and adapter, or you have what's now called the airframe only kit, which is how we initially sold it, with a flight pack attached. But now all you need is the kit, and then a little bit further down the text you'll notice, and this is on all of our kits that we're carrying through, you've got the information here from 2022. This kit now includes, and it goes through the details, and then you have the opportunity here to link to the appropriate receiver for your requirements, for compatibility with your transmitter. So if I were to click, for instance, on DSM2X compatibility, that will take me through to the receiver, and you'll see here the transmitter compatibility is on the DSM2X protocol, in brackets Spectrum. So if I just, so you obviously can then add that to the cart as well. But just to show you it works, if I click on the FHSS compatibility tab, you'll notice here that now my transmitter compatibility here is SFHSS protocol. So and then I can click on add to the cart. That's not done on most of the kits, and I'll tell you about the kits it's not done on a little bit later. So that's how we've reorganized. I'm also reorganizing the rest of the website as well, which I haven't done yet, but we'll be changing the navigation slightly just to make it easier to get to some of the electronics and the spare parts, etc. So that'll be happening fairly organically over the next couple of months. So one of the reasons we've reorganized the kits is that we're going to be developing a reseller network over this year, and starting hopefully in around about March, we will be reselling our kits to retailers throughout the globe. Hopefully, we've had quite a lot of interest over the years, and obviously we haven't really been able to do much about it. But we've got ourselves into a position now where that's a distinct possibility. So that's why we're now including the motor gearbox, the prop adapter within the kit, because that's much easier resale opportunity for the resellers. And obviously all they need to do then is add the appropriate receiver to the kit to complete the product for the customer. So that's one of the reasons we've reorganized the kits as they stand at the moment. Of course, you'll still have the opportunity to purchase directly from Microaces, but of course, if you happen to be within the EU or overseas, in the US, Canada, Australia, etc., then if you've got a local dealer that's stocking our products, then it obviously means that you don't have to wait so long to get the product in your paws. So that's all good. As an aside, if you do have a friendly local hobby store that you use that you think might be interested in taking on our products, do get them to get in contact with us. Tell them about us if you can. That would be absolutely fantastic. Spread the word, and then we can discuss with them and show them how they can purchase directly from us to stock their shelves. So that's really great news for 2022. There are a number of kits that we do that fall short of the can it be resold test by our own estimations, and those are the ones that we haven't developed our assembly guide for at the moment. The current assembly guide, which Simon does a fantastic job of. If you've seen or had a Microaces kit that has a printed assembly guide with it, you'll know what a fantastic job he does on those. So we've got a few aircraft in our range that currently don't have the assembly guide written, and it takes a long while. So what we're going to do is retire a number of kits from our range. Now, depending on the reaction from the marketplace, we may well knuckle down and do some assembly guides for them. But at the moment, the Airco DH2, the Sopwith triplane, and the Fokker D8 with this the razor wing or the razorback or whatever it's called. I should remember these things, but yeah. But we're going to retire those. It is in sort of indefinite, but if there is a sort of a cry of no, we must have that back, then obviously we will allocate some time to produce the assembly guides. They do take a lot of time to do, so it has to be pretty strong for. But anyway, before we retire them, we're going to give you the opportunity to purchase some of the last kits that are on. And we'll do a small manufacturing run as well if there's a big demand for them. But at the end of this month, end of February, we'll be taking them off the shelves, so to speak. And so there's no confusion between resellers and Microaces and you do this and we can't get that, and so it stops all that confusion as well. The other aircraft that we haven't done an assembly guide for yet, or haven't haven't done one for, is the 4-channel Fokker D7. Now we're retiring. We're not retiring it. We're putting it on sabbatical, and we will be doing an assembly guide for the 4-channel Fokker, but it won't be available probably for around about 6 months, which will give us time to put the assembly guide together for that. Obviously, a lot of the work has already been done in the 3-channel Fokker D7 assembly guide, but we still need to make those changes and additions for the 4-channel model. So either within the newsletter that you're reading and have linked to this video from, there'll be links in there to the retirees, so you can go and have a look at them and grab one before they go, or indeed this will be posted on YouTube, I'm guessing. So we'll have in the links below, we will have links to each of those products, so you can go directly to them on the Microaces website. So okay, so that's the retiring kit. And the other, the sort of last part of the news is where we're going this year. So in 2021, we'd hoped to release another kit over and above the fantastic Albatross, which I have to say I adore flying, and it looks fantastic in the air. Sorry for blowing my own trumpet, but I really find it great. And getting back to 4 channels as well is always nice. So there was another kit due out, and I mentioned it in a BMFA Zoom presentation that I gave back in end of October, I think it was, or November. And we're doing another twin engine brushed motor aircraft, and that is the de Havilland Dragon Rapide, and it's going to be a little more sort of scale rather than standoff scale that the Percy is. So I'm working on that at the moment, and that's going to be really really interesting. Hopefully it won't be too long now, maybe 2 to 3 months. Don't hold me to that though. But we'll I'm making inroads into it like never before. I was awake for between 4 and 6 last night, just working out how to link the ailerons together on the top and bottom wing. So so I'm using my spare time, my sleep time, to develop it. But there we go. Prior to that, we've got some interesting electronics landing with us after the Chinese New Year, and I will provide more information about that when that happens. But I've designed a couple of not new aircraft, but aircraft from our existing range that accommodate these new electronics, and it will really sort of enhance the flight experience that you have with these kits, and also the electronics that I'm talking about can be used obviously on other builds as well, not just Microaces. So that's going to be very interesting. That's going to be pretty soon, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks time, fingers crossed. So look out for something about that. And then hopefully later on in the year, I'm working on the idea of using Tyvek in an increasing number of ways. So hopefully we may have something to show you at some point this year to that effect, which is very exciting. And hopefully in the interim period, I'll be able to do a biplane or two. 120 back to 1/24th scale, and there might be other stuff that crops up. Sometimes I think of something, or somebody suggests something, and it suddenly sends me down a track that I never thought I'd go, or wanted to go, but sort of hadn't been kicked that way. So you never know. You never know what will happen, and hopefully we will be COVID free. And just one last thing, we are really going to try to get to more shows. Well, that's easy to say with looking at 2019 through to 2021. It's easy to say we're going to go to more shows, but because we hardly did any. But hopefully this year we will get a lot more organised and get to those shows and get to see and meet you guys again, and fly with you and just have a great time. There is an event coming up which I will do a separate video for, which is a repeat of the indoor extravaganza that we had back in 2019, I think it was. And Essential RC were there, videoed it all. We had some great videos from that. So it's all very exciting. I am really looking forward to this year, and feeling very relieved that we've actually managed to get all the albatrosses out, and that I'm now getting feedback from people about the builds, about the flight, and it's all very, very positive. So that's fantastic. Anyway, as I said before, there are links below, or links in the newsletter that you got, for the retirees, if you want to get one of those before they disappear. But apart from that, that's a wrap. That's the end of the news for now, and I will be making more videos for sure this year, and we will no doubt speak again. But thanks ever so much for watching on this particular video, and let's see you on the next. Okay, bye now.